Hello and welcome everyone to episode 51 of the Jumpcast. I am your host for today, Nick, and I am joined by my other two hosts. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Max.
Hello, I'm also Max.
Yeah, Max 1 and Max 2 here, and we are covering chapter 244 of Jujutsu Kaisen. The title chapter is Inhuman Makio Shinjuku Showdown, part 16. So in that title, it shows that we're heading back to Sukuna and his fight with Yuji and Higuruma. Should I just jump straight into the
recap? Yeah.
Into the little recap? Yeah. So it just starts off with the three of them on the battlefield, and then we cut back immediately to a flashback of the whole plan on how to get rid of Kenjaku and Sukuna. Takaba is explaining to them in like a classroom setting, I guess, that like, okay, so we're gonna have Takaba create an opening for Okotsu to kill him, and then Okotsu will come back to Jujutsu High to help with backup. And then they start thinking of hypotheticals against Sukuna in the hypothetical that Gojo dies. Kusakabe points out that like, hey, we shouldn't send in weak people because like Kashima's like, we need to send everyone out if it's all out war. It's just like, no, it's gonna be useless. Like, for example, Miwa, which we learn now, it's official, she created a binding vow that she can't ever wield the katana again, which is her main form of combat. And even then she points out that when she tried to attack Kenjaku with like this binding vow of like the strongest sword slash that she could muster, I guess, Kenjaku blocked it with his hand. So exactly. So they are just hanging back, just like, okay, who do we send in? How's this gonna work? Kamo points out that he is not going to participate and he's going to try to flee overseas in case like the culling game and like the whatever horrible thing Kenjaku creates from the culling games like takes over the whole world, I guess, or it just like becomes a global level threat. Kashima says Kamo says that he's leaving. Yuji thanks him and says that he's been a great teacher and that Choso is not really good at teaching, which gives us the hypothetical that Yuji knows how to do blood manipulation now. What is it? Kusakabe says anyone that knows reverse curse technique or anyone that is willing to die is welcome to join in. Higuruma says that he'll go after Kashimo, saying that he could confiscate Sukuna's curse technique. Kashimo gets pissed because he expected him to lose, which he did. And Hikari tries to like ease him, and then Higuruma also says, hey, I have the executioner's blade that could kill him in one hit. And then I'm gonna like skip over a bunch of this because this is just a bunch of legal yapping basically about like how they could either confiscate his curse technique or bring in the executioner's blade. And so then they go into like this whole thing of just like Sukuna, like how can they put him on trial? And then it's also like he's been around for thousands of years, and then we have to also put in the thought of just like, oh, does the cursed object also count as him? Because then he could also say that he wasn't a part of all those killings when it came to like the cursed wombs. Basically, they come to the conclusion that they're going to bring Yuji in. We cut back to the present where Mei throws crows at Sukuna, and she says that like everyone just wants to kill the crows instead of letting a direct hit land on them. So she's just trying to hype herself up, I guess. I don't know. She's just saying that nobody can take a direct hit from the crows. Then Higuruma tries to smash Sukuna, fails. Rubble gets thrown at Yuji. He punches it all back at Sukuna right before he tries to use his little lightning weapon, his little rattle. Higuruma pulls it back. Yuji hits him with his new fist, and then he shakes, and he's like, what's happening? Like, what just happened? we get thrown into the domain. We learn that, hey, we're going to bring Yuji along, and then we're going to put him on trial. And then with that, we can actually put the blame on Sukuna, because Sukuna is the one that massacred a bunch of people in Shibuya. And that is the end of the chapter. Thank you for letting me yap on with this chapter review.
Wahoo.
Wahoo! Lots of talking. Anyways, what do you guys think of this chapter?
Oh yeah, I sorry to just immediately throw this out, but I was right. I knew that we were gonna switch back. We had to. It's important that we switch back to Yuji, because you know, my character. Haha, Lamau.
Haha.
It's dumb. Anyway, but I always love chapters like these where it's, you know, I say that about every chapter. I like all these chapters because I love this series. However, I like it when people make plans and then try to enact them and then they don't work. So, I'm excited to see how this won't work, and then how it also will, and then how it won't, because 100% Sukuna is just gonna be like, no, and then something bad's gonna happen, and the Shikigami inside of Higuruma's domain is just gonna be like, oh damn, you're right, I'm actually gonna kill Higuruma now, or some stupid thing like that.
That'd be really sad to see that Sukuna actually just turns this Shikigami on him.
Dude, Maharaga's getting that law degree right now. He's gonna come in.
Yeah, he's just sitting there.
Dude, he's about to take the bar.
Wait, so is Maharaga dead? Maharaga isn't dead, is he?
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, I believe he's dead. I don't know, like,
at least that's the hypothetical, because like the hollow purple, and like we see the ring get destroyed. So I think that was to insinuate that Gojo beat Maharaga.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
So at least there's like some. I mean, it's not level, but like there's a decent chance at them beating Sukuna, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. I also really like this chapter. I always love getting these flashbacks. Like it reminds me of the fight against Kenjaku with Yuki and Choso and Tengen. Like I love how they had all these plans set up, but this time they're actually working, and Kenjaku isn't just being like, haha, flips the bird, open domain. But yeah, I really like it. I like how they had to go through all this like legal jargon of just like, okay, how could we get this to work? How could we get this to work? I especially love page 9, where Higuruma is just like, does statute of limitations apply? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's just like, well, what legal bindings are we working? Are we working with Heian period laws or current laws? And like he's annoying Yuji, just like, so does it work or not? Come on.
I do like that I like that Gege added that in as well, that the Heian era laws also do apply here.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting exploration of the technique too, because like Jujutsu has basically existed, I'm assuming, in this universe since
time.
Since humans were a thing. So I'm assuming that with a technique like this, it would function with every single law within time, in a sense. But then what are the limitations there? I guess, in my opinion, and from what I can understand, because we haven't actually seen anything happen yet, my guess is that it's going to apply the laws of the era that you're in, probably apply.
Yeah.
But not ones. I would assume that statute of limitation would apply, because therefore you are currently operating within the laws of the current era.
Yeah. So basically nothing past 1985 from what it looks like. Which is good on why it's just good to have the guarantee of having Yuji hop in there as well, because like also Sukuna has to fight 2 people now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Also, like, what's going on
Um,
with Yuji's divergent fist?
yeah, that was like a theory, but I think there are a bunch of good theories on what that punch was. I think that one of the ones that I like is that it's like a way to start up his like soul switching ability.
Mm,
So it's like rattling his soul is the best way that I could think.
Okay.
oh,
Getting it loose from that body
yeah.
for him to be able to switch with it. So yeah.
So then he's
Um,
gonna try to attempt like that's his backup is to switch into Megami's. I mean, technically Megami's body.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like pull Sukuna out into his own body again,
Hmm.
whichever way works. But yeah. I also really like that they hint that Yuji knows blood manipulation because it's like my favorite curse technique.
It's so cool.
I think that'd be so fun. It'd be
Yeah.
so fun. Like people said that he'd go crazy with flowing red scale.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that is flowing red scale. A little bit like that punch. Part of that punch is coming from it.
That's possible.
Maybe.
Uh,
Maybe he's just the punch was so strong that it made him shake.
and it made Sukuna quiver in his boots.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh my god, that was actually a hard hit.
Damn.
Damn. So yeah. Yeah. And I love that everyone pointed out that like, oh, Sukuna's smiling. He has a plan against this domain. Which is sad.
Well, yeah. He hasn't lost
Um,
any confidence against anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's also like, I mean, that's what you get for being the strongest.
Hmm.
Just like why should I fear this little itty bitty courtroom? But yeah, I think it's huge that also because Higuruma didn't know that Gojo would like destroy Sukuna's ability to do his domain. So like I think it's crazy that he still thought like, oh, I'll go in with deadly sentencing. Just like malevolent shrine. Just that hypothetical could have popped up. Because I think it's definitely like way more refined.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Another thing, how did the theory about Yuji's like soul switching ability? How did that start?
Training, it was like what is it? The chapter
before
after Gojo
Gojo.
said not
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been. He was fighting Kusakabe. They were like training and like what is it? Yuji threw Kusakabe on the ground and then he proceeded to say, come on, Yuji, you've got to master it by now.
Hmm.
Or like something like that. And then Kusakabe said Osu, which is like something that Yuji says.
It's basically like okay,
time.
right? Something.
I guess so. I think it's just some random expression. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not Japanese. But yeah, that's like the big theory behind that. So yeah, and it's like all but guaranteed that he ate the brothers too.
Oh.
So like, Yuji's got a lot of things up his sleeve right now.
He's
So he's kind of
he's cooking pretty quietly.
He's becoming like a proto ghetto in a way.
What do you mean by that?
Like just the oral I mean, I don't know the best way to put it, but like he
Eats stuff.
moment.
Big power.
Mario moment.
Mario moment. Mushroom.
Kirby.
Be big and
Yeah.
strong. Kirby. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, Kirby.
Kirby. So yeah. Now I see where you're coming from that, but yeah, I just keep on wanting to think about what's going to happen next chapter.
Mhm.
It's like my big theory of that overall what's going to happen is that Higuruma is going to be able to land a confiscate on his curse technique, but even with that, Sukuna's going to be like black box open, flame
Just
arrow
pull
at Higuruma,
something
he's
else out.
gone. Yeah, and so then like he was able to like Higuruma's probably gonna die, like
Yeah.
sadly as well. But he's gonna land the domain, confiscate the curse technique, and then it's just gonna be Yuji versus Sukuna.
Mm-hmm. The long.
And then Yuji's gonna use like everything that he can, and it will barely be enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you guys think that this fight with Sukuna is gonna be like the end of the series?
To be honest, probably no. Like it feels like it will be, but the big thing that I'm betting on is that especially with last chapter, Kenjaku is gonna get his way and the merger is gonna happen.
And that's gonna be the final fight, or just the end of the series, Kenjaku
something
winning.
equivalent to that, yeah. Or like all of it like inhabits, I don't know, either Sukuna or Yuji, something like that.
So
and then that just becomes the end of the series.
There'd be like a secondary fight with whatever's created from the merger.
Yeah, basically like I don't know. I'm thinking of it as like a Power Rangers moment where like at the end of the episode there's always like the monsters, the main villains like I get big, haha, tear down city. Except that they don't have a mech to get into. So yeah. Unless they use like Ultimate Mechamaru for some reason, that'd be hilarious. Callback. So yeah.
Surprise.
I just love that Mei Mei was also like, nobody wants to get hit by my crow, like hyping herself up. Like I could totally have like taken Sukuna down with like a sacrificial crow hit, which like could be possible, but I think it would just be funny.
Yeah. She's she's capable. She's got this. She's totally not gonna get her shit rocked, but
yeah, totally.
Oh wow.
She's in Shinjuku? I just realized that.
Yeah. She's sniping.
She got teleported in as well. Wow, that's crazy.
She's actually, I wonder how much they paid her to actually like do something.
I know. That's a really good question. It's probably coming all out of Yuta and Gojo's bank accounts. Gojo listed Mei Mei as a beneficiary in case he dies, and that was the thing that got her convinced.
Yeah, was it ever explained? Never mind. The thought left my brain as soon as I started talking. Wow, okay.
I'm sure that will come back to you.
Probably.
But yeah.
Trying to think of what else. What else should we talk about?
What Yuji arm do?
Yeah.
Why he got red arm?
Dog, we know nothing. We just know he punched.
Yeah, we know nothing. Yeah.
We see in the flashback he doesn't have it. He didn't have it when they were watching the fight, so it's like a very, very recent. Maybe
he had to. I'm sorry, go.
Maybe it's something with like a mix of blood manipulation and the like curse wounds. Maybe it's kind of like blood manipulation with like the flowing scale.
Yeah.
But because he's consumed all the other death painting brothers, he can use whatever their thing was, and so maybe that arm thing was one of the other brothers, and he's combining it maybe with like you said, Nick, like warming up the soul switching or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just the physical manifestation, like the markings on his face when Sukuna would like take over, like he's channeling his brothers.
Ooh.
That's true.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
I really want them to be just like a curse tool that he has now. I think that would be fun.
Kind of like the boxing gloves. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because like he was holding his arms, like it looked as if he was trying to lock them in. Like I don't know. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like when you look at even at page 1, it looks like he's like twisting them on or something.
That's a good point. Like he's adjusting it.
Maybe it could.
Sorry to interject. I think it actually might be the case because when you take a closer look on like page 15 in 16, like at the very end of his wrist, or just on his wrist, looks like a. Well, I don't know. I guess just because it's a drawing, it's
Bandage
not in
or
color.
something like that.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Here, let me go to. I think it was chapter 243 is where we saw the color, or 242, right?
Yeah.
No, it was 241.
What were you
is
gonna say,
where we-
Um, well, I was gonna say, you remember that like sword that guy made that Maki used for like a hot minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying maybe something like that. Like he made these for Yuji to maybe channel his cursed energy or channel blood manipulation or channel something
Yeah.
easier.
Ability behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think also the big thing behind it as well is that it was on chapter 240 if you guys want to look, but like one of his arms is red and the other one isn't. So maybe he can transform it, but I'm just not sure. Also, is that a bandage on his freaking?
Because it kind of looks like
Ear.
bandages around his like wrist.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the weird thing. It's like it looks like bone.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It reminds me
And
of
like
the
he's got the claws and everything now too.
right.
I don't know much about the game, but like is it like the Cyberpunk game? There's like the arm swords. Maybe it's something like that.
Oh,
in
man,
some ways. Is that, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they're called. So, but yeah. So maybe it's something like that where it's like in his body, but not like mechanical. It's something like organic that he can like bring out at will, or like you said, maybe slide on.
I wonder, because yeah, it
We
really
got
does.
lots
It really does look like a bandage on his wrist, as if it's
Yeah.
like being held in place.
I mean, I think that that's just the best way to go with it, unless like maybe like after this break week they'll just announce it like, oh, it actually is this, like it is a technique.
Right.
But I just don't want to think that it is, because like, okay, what is it, we got like 3 things so far that he could have for like abilities, and like Yuki said that like you can't have more than like maybe 4 curse techniques to a person before your brain explodes, or you're a special case like Yuta where you have the external thing of like Rika can hold curse techniques.
Right.
And so then like, what is it, he could have blood manipulation, he could have soul switching, so that's already like 2. I felt like there was a third one, but I can't remember it.
Well, do
It's
his
not coming to
brothers?
mind. So maybe
His brother's techniques.
yeah, but like, what is it, Gege said that if he ate his brothers he would just absorb their cursed energy. That was the big thing.
Oh,
But
I
maybe he also gets the bonus of blood manipulation with it. So yeah, I know that because of that, at least if Yuji ate those, he would have a lot more curse energy than he did before. So yeah. So I don't know. Maybe these are a curse technique, and maybe he has three techniques so far.
Who knows? We just
Yeah,
gotta
who
wait.
knows? Yeah. Yeah.
We'll find out in
Um,
2 weeks.
It's just,
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
I also felt a little like too much yapping this week. Like this chapter, we got like a bunch of cool panels and then just a shit ton of yapping. We still realize that Miwa's useless, and she's even more useless than she was before. Like, what else is new? There's nothing new we're learning.
Yeah. That means that she was just walking through Sendai.
Pretty much.
Like,
That's a
she
good way.
was, like,
Yeah, I didn't even think
basically
about it that way.
defenseless.
Yeah,
Unless like maybe she does have a curse technique.
or
so
she
yeah.
figured something else.
She's got simple domain, doesn't she?
Maybe
But
instead
that
of
was
using a
with the
sword.
katana.
Yeah. Well, maybe she's not using a sword. Maybe she's using like a club or something now, or like a knife or something. She could just
Maybe,
not
yeah,
use a
that's
sword.
true.
Yeah.
But like that's the big thing, is that new Shadow style focuses on a katana.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, what is it? it was a lot of talking again. But I think it's good. I think just like the last part that just threw me off is just how much they talked about like the stipulations when it came to Higuruma's curse technique, which like I guess it makes sense. You need to show them having that dialogue so that Yuji can be like, oh, light bulb to the head.
Right.
I'm gonna have a retrial. So yeah, because like it's all but guaranteed until we see what Sukuna does that he's gonna get the Executioner's Blade.
Yeah.
Right.
And then from there, it's just seeing if they can actually land a hit on him, which I'm sure that he is going to dodge a few hits and be like retrial. And then, what is it? Sukuna's going to be hit with something. And it's just like, oh, brother actually studied law for the 2 months that he was waiting to fight Gojo, pulls out something. And then it's just like, oh, wait, he actually does get like an upper hand. And then boom, Higuruma's gone. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you in that boat.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah, I like that.
Cowabunga. Well, we
It's just sad. I don't want to see him die this early.
Yeah.
But it's nice that he had like also the change of character because he went from like, I don't want to do anything when it comes to this stuff. I'm gonna turn myself in to I'm gonna help all of humanity. So made a wise choice.
Man. All right. Well, I guess we should probably just end it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The yap session, the chapter is carrying over to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like there was a bit to talk about this week, but like as a whole, like not a whole lot. Like I don't know the best way to describe it. Is like the past few chapters have had like banger like moments at the end, but just overall they felt very dry. Like, dude, I don't know. Like the past 3 chapters to me felt like we've been walking through like the Sahara Desert or something, dude.
Well, I mean, it's just one long string of action. So.
I don't know about you. I love the talk about Kenjaku.
Well, I love it, but it was just very like when I read manga, I'm not trying to read a book, dude. I want big pictures.
But there wasn't even that much talking in that chapter, though.
It's true. It felt like a lot to me. I don't know why.
Sure. But yeah, at least these last few, especially with the last one with like the comedy that no one got unless you grew up in Japan.
I guess that's why I felt like very yappy. Is like I didn't understand that it was like a Japanese legend or whatever. So
yeah. Anyways, yeah, we should probably just cut it here. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode of the Jumpcast. As we've said before, we're going on a break week next week, so we won't have an episode either. But yeah, we'll be back after 2 weeks, which will be close to Christmas time. So yeah, I don't know what else to add on. So yeah, everyone have a good 2 weeks, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode.
Bye.